Welcome to White Light Media, where we unravel hypnotic entanglements and gain discernment through conscious conversations. I'm your host, Janie Lin. I'm super excited to be launching the White Light Media platform. I've been interviewing guests since about 2018, as well as having my own radio show and being a guest on several podcasts, different platforms, and other radio shows. I was also on the Lewis Herms's his first truth tour. That's a mouthful. That was fun. I actually got to speak in person, which over the last couple of years hasn't happened a whole heck of a lot. So I took a break from doing all of that for about a year and did a recalibration on my life. I had some personal and some health stuff to take care of. So here we are back again, and I look forward to sharing the guests that I have on the White Light Media platform and their messages with you in the near future. So if you're interested in being a guest on White Light Media, please email me at whitelightmedia and the number 1 at gmail.com. All my links will be below this video. So until next time, God bless. Welcome to the Divine Wealth Awakening Show, where intuition brings your soul to life. I'm your host, Janie Lin. We're coming to you live from the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. So today we have a special guest, Jacque Chapman. She's on the show with us here live to share with us her knowledge of communion with bodies. Basically, in a nutshell, she's changing the stars with her knowledge of communion with bodies. So welcome, Jacque. It is such an honor to have you on the show today.
Good morning, Janie. It's good to be here.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hey. On the awareness of bodies, there's been many times where, it's kind of a joke because I'm usually late a lot more than I'm on time.
No.
And some of that, yeah. Some of that comes from, I'll go to leave the house and it's like, not yet. It's not time. Not yet. Mm-hmm. And I'll get down the freeway and there's been an accident or there's something where, I wouldn't have got there any sooner anyways, because either there was a traffic jam or an accident or something. So, I fully believe that you get where you're going exactly at the right time.
Absolutely. Body never lies.
Yeah. And it does. It literally has your back.
Oh, so much so. So much so. And it's really fun when you start actually asking more questions of what your body does like. You might be really surprised. It's like, as we grow up in this reality, oftentimes we're actually, your point of view creates your reality. And so a lot of times as we're growing up, we're actually taking on the points of views of anyone that's important to us about what our lives should look like, because that's what their lives look like, or because that's what they told us it should look like, or blah, 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 right? And it's like, as you have more communion with your body, you'll find that the clarity that you have about what's yours and what's not yours can create a very different reality for you. It's almost like you might think you like X, Y, and Z, and you don't like this other thing. You might find out that this other thing is actually more fun. It's like years ago, I had a radio show, and the thing that was most surprising to me was every single time we would go live, it was like jumping off a cliff. And I was like, chewing my fingernails before the whole show and everything. And then as soon as we got into the show, I loved it. It was like being a fighter pilot in a jet, and just taking off and going here and going there. And I would never have guessed that was what my body liked.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Divine Wealth Awakening Show. This is episode number 4. I'm your host, Janie Lin. I'm excited to introduce to you today Kevin Briggs. He's an amazing gentleman who is making fantastic changes in consciousness in a very unique way. Today on the show, you will hear about Kevin's journey through childhood, what led him to his mission today, and how that can help you. Kevin J. Briggs is an author and specializes in consciousness and the connection to UFOs. His recently published book, Spiritual Consciousness, A Personal Journey, covers 56 years of his experiences of ET contact and UFO connections. Kevin speaks to many groups of UFO and ET enthusiasts. They are always eager to hear of his interactions, and he always receives a warm reception. Kevin has written articles which have been published in The Truth magazine. His published book was also mentioned in Psychic News UK in their editor's Good Read section. He has also written an article about his ET experiences, which will be published in the new Observations magazine. Kevin, welcome to the Divine Wealth Awakening Show. I am so honored to have you here with us today.
Hi, Janie. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be on your show. I do appreciate it, and it obviously helps promote my book, and I do enjoy talking about my experiences over the past 56, 57 years now. I wouldn't have started talking about them had it not been for the couple of ETs materializing in my bedroom a few years ago and asked me to start, A, to write the book, and then B, to start talking about my experiences with them. So that was probably nearly 3 years ago now. So the book came out last year, and I've been speaking at conferences and just generally talking about my contact with the ETs from childhood. So yeah, it's a great honor to be on your show and continue talking about my experiences.
Awesome. I'm honored to have you here. So I understand your spiritual journey began when you were 3. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because that seems to be very early.
Yes, I can. Yes, that was my first recollection of being conscious. And what happened was we were having a family photograph taken for the family album. And the photographer came. We were duly washed and polished. My slightly older brother than me, and I was 3 years old at the time. The photographer decided we would look better photographed, elevated on the dining room table. So I was lifted up onto the table there, and as I looked around the room from that higher elevated position, I realized I was actually conscious. But I also realized that I was conscious again. I'd been here sometime before as a conscious physical being. And I had that memory. So that's my first recollection. Now, when I told that story to my wife, she said that 3-year-olds do not think like that. But I did, and that was my first recollection of being conscious. But I have learned since that between 3 years and 7 years, children do have memories of previous lives, previous consciousness that they've incarnated into in a physical. So I've learned something else new since I wrote the book in relation to it's fairly common for 3 to 7-year-olds to have recollection of consciousness and recollection of past lives.